I'm taking what I've said again because I'm recording now. So when we look at the incremental revenue, we look at the difference between the further processing price and then the split off price. So when we look at the difference, L to LX will be 1.1, M to MX is 1.4, S to XS is 0.7. Then we will look at the incremental cost. The incremental cost is the variable cost that has been given to us in the question respectively. That's the specific cost. So that is 0.5, 0.7, 0.8. So the question is, from the rule we established, we said you compare incremental revenue to incremental cost. If incremental revenue is more than incremental cost, you further process. If it is less, you sell at the split off point. So from this scenario right here, we have to further process L and M because the incremental revenue are more than what? The incremental cost. Then we sell S at the split off point. So that is it about that in relation to that. So let's prepare the profit statement for the whole company if they are further processing these guys. Alright? So profits. So if they are further processing these two guys, so first we are bringing sales revenue. Sales or revenue, they are the same thing. Then we'll bring L. Now, when we further process L, look at what is happening. We are told that further processing leads to a normal loss of what? 5%. So even though the output of L is 1,200, when we further process, we won't get 1,200. We will just get only 95% of it. Do you agree with that? You don't agree? Listen to the language. It says further processing leads to a normal loss of 5%. Do you get the idea? So when we further process the ones we have to further process, we will lose 5%. So what is the output after further processing? It means 95% of what? The goods. Are we okay? So we multiply this by, what was the further processing price? 6.7. So what do we have now? Seven, 6, 3, 8. Then for M, 7, 6. Then M, what is the output for M? 1,004. Are we further processing? So we will lose 5%, so we will take 95%. What is the value? 7.90, right? So let's get the answer. 10,507. Are we done? No, because we said S should be sold at the split off point. It is a SDR. We will just take it output 1,800. We won't do any 95% because that one is being what? Sold at the split off point. Then we'll take the split off price for X, which is what? What's the split off price for S? 6.1, right? 6.1, the split off point price. John, the first one is split off and the second one is the further processing. What do we have? Moment, please. Ten. Okay, so this is the total revenue. 1,980. Okay, thank you. Let's add. What do I have for total?
29,125.
Then we bring the cost, the specific cost for further processing. Remember, we are preparing a profit statement. So L, what is the cost per unit?
0.05.
So 0.05. 0.5, right?
Yes.
Times what's the unit?
6.7.
What?
6.7.
A. Cost. So we have to multiply by the unit. 1,200. Be stable. Be stable. Be stable. What do I have? But you know, we need to take 95%, right?
That is what I was going to ask.
Yes.
But the normal loss, not cost to incur on
No, it's process costing that we will take that into consideration.
Okay.
But here we won't take it into consideration. Because if you watch this question well, he said of LX. That means we need to take 90% of what? 95% of this. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Because when we say if the L now called XI, we are told that 5% will be missing.
Yes.
So if you want the output for the further process, it's actually 95% of the unprocessed output. You get the idea? You don't get it. L is 1,002. LX is the further process. NHYIRA, if we try to process, we will lose 5% of this. So what is the output for LX? Is 95% of this. Do you agree?
Yeah.
If that is the case with the cost, or say 0.5 of LX, it didn't say 0.5 of L. So we need to take 95% of this one. Are you getting the picture? So what do I have? 570. Then M. What is the specific fixed cost for M? So 0.7 times the cost, 1,400 times 95%. What do we have? Madam.
If that's the case, assuming they have said the variable cost of, let's say 0.5 of L, that means we wouldn't have brought it.
If they would say that, then they wouldn't have brought any normal loss. But if they, do you get it? Then they wouldn't have brought normal loss. So the question goes together. What do I have here?
Yeah,
930. But will we incur any specific cost on S? Is there going to be any specific cost on S?
No.
Will we incur any cost on S? Because we say S should not be what? Further process, right? So that's all. Can I have an answer? So, if we want the total profit for the thing, what do we have?
276.
2764.
27624. 24.
2764. Like this.
Yes.
I just realized right from the question that we are not supposed to prepare a profit statement. It says, calculate and conclude whether any of the products should be further processed into division B in order to optimize the profit for the company. No, we are not supposed to do this. Sorry. We are not supposed to do this. But I've done it. So if you are supposed to do it in the exam hall, are you getting it? We are just supposed to do this for 10 months. Ebina, this one is cheap out. Just this for 10 months. You are not understanding.
So something like this means the example.
Have like further processing. I think federal processing has come once. Is it November 2015? It's been a long time. It's been a long time. Even though I think it was a theory, not a calculation question. That's why it's one of the areas that I'm expecting the examiner to search questions.